Depending on where you landed, there was a message from your soul, from your spirit, of what would be helpful for you to accelerate letting more love into your life. What would be pertinent for you at this time, at this stage of your growth, of what you need to accelerate the process. So, if you landed upon the snowy mountain cap, and that message is for you to move beyond your fears of rejection and to allow greater self-acceptance, to accept yourself and to accept others. And so much of that comes from a pattern, a habit of self-judgment, to let loose of the self-judgment, to accept yourself and to forgive yourself for those issues, for judging yourself, for competing and comparing yourself to other people. And learning to accept yourself is what's going to allow you to allow greater love into your life. If you landed in that hot air balloon and you woke up to a new terrain and it happened to be this snowy mountain cap, perhaps next to a fire, whatever you sensed and saw. I didn't go into a lot of detail with any of the surroundings, but you had enough anchoring images to know which one felt right for you. And so the first one is the, the snowy mountain cap. I get a sip of water. Now, if you had by chance landed on the second one that I suggested, which was the what? The lagoon with the water falling of the lagoon. Your challenge is to have greater caring and compassion for yourself, beyond acceptance, to care and have compassion, to move into a place of allowing yourself to care and to be concerned about your own welfare, but also about your future. The water falling is about allowing yourself to cleanse the emotions that are in the way and to allow yourself to clear out some of the unfinished emotions in finished relationships. Hear that. Unfinished emotions in finished relationships, meaning that I still have some old, perhaps resentments and things I need to clear out from the past that's keeping me from letting more love into my life, that's holding me back, that's keeping my energy level lower. So if the falling waters was your challenge, or where you ended up, that message from your soul was, I need to cleanse and get the emotion flowing and cleansing through me to release some of the older stagnant emotions from the past. And it takes a level of self-care, caring and compassion to do that. And as you open up to the caring and compassion, you can move forward into allowing greater love into your life. Now, if you happen to land upon the beautiful ocean beach with the high tide or whatever the tide is at, in the sun and this open-aired space, excuse me again, this open-aired space where you sensed the beautiful salty ocean air, and perhaps you laid down upon a blanket or underneath a big umbrella and you laid back there and you rested and you received. That message for you specifically is about trust. It's about learning to trust yourself, to trust life, to trust the balance of the elements, to trust who you are and who you are becoming. In so many ways, the challenge for you is to expand with humility. Hear that. Expand with humility toward who you are becoming. Meaning that too often, the people that ended up there on the beach, too often, what happens is you tend to project what happened in the past as happening in the future, or an opportunity to meet somebody new, a new love into your life, and you tend to project the past. And it's important to have the humility to let the future be different, to dream of a new future, to open up to new possibilities. That yes, okay, these things happened to me in the past, absolutely, there's no question, but I need to let go of that, and I need to hold a vision of what I want more than what I don't want. So humility, and with that humility, that trust, that level of trusting yourself is so important in this arena of whether you landed upon the ocean beach. That is the key messages from your soul that will help you to not only let greater love into your life, but to be loved, is to trust yourself enough to trust life and to trust your future is going to be different, and not to hold on to what's familiar and drag it into the future because it's familiar. And that's the challenge for those that landed upon the beach. Now, the fourth component, so we've covered the ice cap mountain, we covered the waterfall, we covered the beach. The fourth one is that of the forest, the dense redwood forest with lots of trees, lots of lush, beautiful plants and trees, and perhaps finding a cabin or a tent, or just leaning upon the trunk of a beautiful redwood tree, a place for healing for you. And that is to gain clarity on what do you really want in a relationship. Who do you want to be in a relationship? To gain clarity and to gain commitment and loyalty. Commitment and loyalty so key in this fourth energy, that I need to commit to my future. I need to commit to the fact that I want greater love in my life. I need to commit to being loved and being loyal to myself and others. But in that commitment, to gain clarity, to get grounded into the earth, to let yourself be supported by the earth, but let yourself also get clarity on what do I really want in a relationship. I know what I don't want, but have I clarified what I do want? And can I start to generate and feel that energy in my relationships? Can I start to generate what it would feel like to have greater love in my life? Can I start to generate that and commit to that as something I will create? It's not up to the stars. It's not up to astrology. It's not up to fate. It's not up to some psychic reader to tell you whether it's going to happen. It's up to you to decide it. You create your own reality and to own it. And then to step into it with a commitment and a loyalty to allow yourself to get clear on what do I really want in my loving, intimate relationships. And as you gain clarity, you're going to allow yourself to expand. And as the person on the beach, opens to trusting themselves and allowing themselves to open up, you're going to experience greater love in your life. And as the one under the waterfall can let go of some of the residual emotions from the past that are clogging up the free flow of love in your life and release some of those unfinished emotions and finished relationships, you're going to allow greater love into your life. And when you're on that snow-capped mountain, as that's part of the message that you got, is to accept yourself, to let go of the judgments of competing and comparing yourself with others, and to just own who you are and own the value and worth of who you are. Self-acceptance, so key, and allowing yourself to move forward. So the humility, so important in that process as well for those on the beach. But those are some of the keys of being loved. And beyond just being loved, but allowing and attracting more love into your life. So, with that being said, does anybody have any feedback, any questions so far about that meditation? Because the meditation purposefully wasn't to be guided directly and have everybody follow the same path, but it was to take you into the domain of being loved. And as you're in that domain of being loved, to let greater love into your life. But what is the resistance? What's standing in the way? And one of those four terrains, those new, what do you call it? The new foundation, I guess is a better word, the terrain that you land upon, that hot air balloon took you to and you landed upon as you looked out. Was it a snowy mountain cap? Was it the beach, the ocean beach? Was it a deep forest, or was it a falling lagoon water? So, that is something I wanted to share with you. Angie says, trust, very interesting, yes. Excuse me. Natalie, wonderful. Will you be posting this? More than likely, this will be part of probably the course on being loved that I'm putting together. It's not 100%, but I most likely will be posting this somewhere, and it will be available. I apologize because there's a lot of construction going across the street, and I realized that I usually schedule some of these meditations for later in the day. So when I started the meditation, I could hear all those noises outside, and unfortunately I couldn't do anything to block them. I tried to turn on some of the music, which I don't think was too effective, but hopefully you didn't let the background noises get in the way. So, couldn't hear on my end. Terrific. Good. I could hear it very clearly, but I wasn't sure if the microphone was picking it up. Sometimes it does. Great. Good. So it wasn't too distracting. So those are the whispers. Those are the messages. And just to explain a little bit about the meditation itself, I have a few minutes. I think I can go into that. Now that I've done it, and now that it's kind of flowed through me, I can understand how it fit together. At first, it was very strange, because as I mentioned, I'm an inspired speaker, and so this meditation just kind of flowed through. I've never done this meditation in the past. It's totally clear and totally new. But it was interesting because I'm having you walk in the grass in this beautiful vista. That's the first thing I started seeing. And then all of a sudden I'm noticing the grass is rising and coming up. And I'm like, what the heck is that about? I'm like, either you're shrinking or the grass is coming up. But I was trying to describe that as best I could. It was a little challenging for me. But it's about going into the weeds of the past, right? It's going into the weeds that kind of block my view. And I get confused. I don't know where to turn. And everything looks the same. And I can't see above the grasses. All I can see is the sky. And I get confused, and I have to move through these veils to part the way to move forward. And it gets exhausting, it gets tiring, and it gets frustrating. Then you come into this clearing finally, and there in the clearing is this hot air balloon. Another whisper, another message from your soul is, what color was the balloon? Or maybe it's multiple colors, but you notice that hot air balloon. Was it the balloon itself red or orange or yellow or green or blue or purple or violet? That might be a whisper, a message of the chakra that you need to balance and work on to let greater love into your life. I didn't go into much detail about that, but I had you kind of noticed, and hopefully, if you hadn't zoned out by then, you noticed maybe the color of the balloon. And if not, maybe by me just saying it now that something triggers that, yeah, I sensed kind of a yellow balloon, or I sensed a kind of a blue balloon, or whatever. To look at that, to let yourself explore, to unpack it, so to speak. You see, the meditation is open-ended, and its intention is to help you to let greater love into your life. And it is, each of those images are rich metaphors and messages about what you need to bring greater balance. Because, let's face it, Blossom's color of her balloon compared to Angie's or Natalie's or anyone else's would be very different. It can all be very different. So I didn't want to make it like, okay, here, step into this red balloon. No, I want it to be open-ended so you can explore and you can look at, what color was it? Or what was the predominant color? Maybe it was a couple colors, but which one stood out? Or maybe a couple of them. And what do those mean on a level of the chakra system? If it's a blue, it deals with expression, 5th chakra. If it's yellow, it deals with emotion. So maybe I need to express my emotions if there was yellow and blue. Or if it was green around the heart itself, the healing of the heart and finding balance and harmony. Or maybe it was red, that I need greater security. I need to feel more safe and secure to let more love into my life. Or perhaps it was orange, which is passion, right? The passion to create, the co-creative energy, but the passion of the 2nd chakra. Perhaps it is the purple of wisdom, of clearing out my image and my vision of the future and what I can see myself being different, to change my self-image, to open up to a new image of what's possible for me. Or the violet. Perhaps it was a violet light, connecting to my soul and my spirit, connecting to my higher self, and allowing them to help me to bring more love into my life. So look at the colors. This was a really rich meditation experience for all of you. As you started and you went through the process, I hope you got some value from this meditation. It was more of a revelation meditation to reveal. Revelation means to reveal. When you think and feel, you have a revelation. And that's what the intention of the meditation was, to reveal something more about yourself and your journey towards letting more love into your life, a journey towards being loved. And so hopefully those whispers are something that you can work with a little bit, and know that even if you didn't get clear on where you landed, that your soul is working on you with those issues. So the more conscious you are of it and the more you participate, the easier it will be for the change to happen. So thank you for participating. Have a rest of the wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you are in the world. And I will talk to you folks soon, okay? Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And God bless you. Bye now.